In 1912, the world's most luxurious ship was about to set sail, the RMS Titanic. It was called the Ship of Dreams. At that time, newspapers claimed it was unsinkable. It was the largest moving object ever built by human hands, almost 900 feet long, with swimming pools, restaurants, a grand staircase, and every possible luxury that only the rich and powerful could dream of. People from all around the world wanted to be a part of this historic first voyage from Southampton, England to New York, USA. Among those dreamers was a farmer named Clarke. He was not rich, not a businessman, not a nobleman, just a hardworking man who wanted to give his family a once-in-a-lifetime experience. For years, he saved every penny. He sacrificed his comforts, denied himself little luxuries, and slowly built his savings. Finally, he bought 7 tickets for himself, his wife, and their 5 children. This was all of his life's savings. His entire wealth poured into a dream, the dream of traveling on the Titanic. Days before the voyage, excitement filled the Clarke household. The children imagined the grand ship, the food, the music, the adventure. But 1 week before departure, tragedy struck. Clarke's pet dog bit one of the children. The boy's wound grew serious, and his wife refused to leave him behind. She said, "I cannot go while my child is sick. If you want, take the other 4 children and go, but I will not leave this house." Clarke stood at a crossroads. On one hand, the Titanic, his lifelong dream, his savings, his chance to touch greatness. On the other hand, his sick child and his family's unity. After days of struggle in his heart, he chose love over luxury. He said, "No, I will not go. Let the money be lost. My family is more important than my dream." And so, on April 10th, 1912, when the Titanic began its historic journey from Southampton, Clarke and his family stood on the dock, watching the magnificent ship disappear into the horizon. His eyes filled with tears. He had lost all his money. His heart was broken. He returned home in silence, convinced that life had cheated him. But just 5 days later, on April 15th, the unimaginable happened. The Titanic struck an iceberg in the freezing Atlantic Ocean. What many didn't know was that only about 1/10 of an iceberg is visible above the water. The other 9/10 remain hidden below. That hidden mass tore through the Titanic's steel hull. In less than 3 hours, the unsinkable ship had sunk. More than 1,500 people perished in the icy waters that night. When Clarke heard the news, he froze in shock. His grief over lost money turned into tears of gratitude. The same child who had been bitten, the same dog he had cursed, had unknowingly saved his entire family. If not for that single event, Clarke, his wife, and all 5 children would have been among the dead. Friends, this is not just a story about the Titanic. It is a story about life. Sometimes when things go wrong, when our plans fail, when life disappoints us, we think it's unfair. But often, those setbacks are blessings in disguise. What feels like loss in the present may turn out to be protection for the future. So, whenever life says no to your plans, remember Clarke and his family. Remember the Titanic. Remember that everything happens for a reason.